And in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of Rehearsal Time with Group 2. Today, we are joined by Joanne Huang, a data analyst working in beautiful downtown Chicago. She's a graduate of Northwestern University, a dear friend of Eric Zhang, and a self-proclaimed Group 2 groupie. We're really thankful to have her on the show, and we're really excited for all the opportunities and the support she's given us through the quartet. So, Joanne, thanks for coming on. How are you?
I'm good. I think.
Hey.
Actually, I think I'm experiencing some technical difficulty.
Oh.
Oh no.
Okay. Everybody, keep recording. We'll figure this out.
Okay.
No
problem.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, you guys.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Eric. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, you had to throw in the harmony there.
So for everybody joining us, it is Eric's birthday today. Eric.
I gotta
Did
say,
we get you, dude?
That was pretty good. You got me.
I love this pickup.
You know, we were
the only thing we're missing is Ashton
when did you
Kutcher.
even plan this? Like, I would have seen the emails.
No, we had a secret group.
We started,
Oh,
we had
you-
a secret group.
Yeah.
Boy,
Oh.
you can make that Facebook group with anybody you want. we slipped right past your DMs.
Oh gosh, that was good. That was
I
I.
responded to that group chat saying, you guys can come back on. And we realized that you didn't get the message because you weren't on that.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
like
it's in the wrong group.
you guys are taking a while over here. I was like, oh, but
And so for whoever's listening, I'm so sorry. That probably sounds just awful. We'll try to do some sort of magic to make it sound. Adam's our boy.
I'll do something.
In my
Like-
headphones, it sounded like I was with you guys. So
it was oddly like together.
Wow.
Like I was,
Oh,
I mean, I was
good.
listening, so like it was right in time.
Good.
I'm
Well,
glad it wasn't atrocious.
Joanne, how are you doing? Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. I'm really happy. I'm especially happy since it's Eric's day of coming into existence.
Oh, what an angel. He was delivered unto us. Thank you, Eric. We had to give his parents a call
Oh, no,
and
yeah.
say thanks.
The
They're going to be
story-
like, who are you, man? Please
Call
stop.
my parents, yeah.
Good. All right. Well, we like to do a little thing here during rehearsal time with Group 2. It's referred to endearingly as a check-in, and we like to take one thing throughout the week that we've noticed. Right now, since it's coronavirus season, it's one of those things that maybe accidentally happens to us, or something that you were awake when it happened, or, you know, it doesn't have to be a big thing, you know. But we just want to check in one thing about our week. And so, Evan, let's kick the ball off with Evan, because I think that he has a pretty saucy one, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah. I mean, so it's a like we're entering into a new phase, Emily and me, in our lives together. So to give a little bit of context, we lived together for 2 years up in Mount Pleasant, right? During the last year there, our toaster kind of died, and then so we were only left with a microwave, right? In Oklahoma, we never got a toaster and we never got a microwave, and ever since then we have been without those appliances. So all of our cooking.
What?
has
How?
been- yeah, everything is either in the oven or stovetop. That's just how we've done it. I mean, like we have a rice cooker and like a crock pot and that stuff, right? But for our anniversary that's coming up, we decided, you know what? Let's buy a toaster. So we bought a behemoth of a toaster that arrived this morning.
Oh my god.
It's insane. It can do. I think it's like 16 different things that it can do. Like it's an air fryer. It can do slow cooking. You're supposed to be able to fit like a 14-pound turkey in it.
Wow.
Like, this is a behemoth of a toaster. So I'm excited
Wow.
for this next chapter of my life where I have a toaster
Yeah.
again.
You know, Evan,
Still
you
no
really,
microwave,
You really got
led
us.
me on in the
Yeah.
beginning there. The biggest decision of life. I was like, oh, what is happening? What is he
I'm-
going to announce on
What?
the podcast?
Yeah, gonna be honest.
Wow.
Like, I was expecting a different sort of like baby announcement,
No,
but
this toaster is our baby.
In the oven or fun in the toaster. I don't know.
yeah.
See, okay, so all of us here, sans Joanne, have been in Evan's kitchen. And I have one question. Evan, where on God's green earth are you going to put a massive toaster?
We
Because
found a
we all
spot.
know what the kitchen is.
Yeah,
Where?
no,
Outside?
it's pretty small. No, we ended up switching where our coffee. So we moved where all of our coffee setup is. So we have a burr grinder because
Oh,
Emily decided
no.
to get fancy. Well, we just moved it, so it's a little bit closer to the
Okay.
sink, but it opened up that countertop and it just slides right in there like perfectly. It's got the clearance that it needs from the shelves and like it's yeah. So
Hey, man, you're
We-
coming
we
into
moved
1980,
for
and I'm proud of you.
dude, the air fryer is gonna be pretty fun. That'll be new.
That's going to be
So we'll
good.
figure out how to
That's
do
going to be
that.
nice.
And it came.
Evan
with a
likes to
ton of
bring-
trays. Like it came with like
Oh.
7 different trays to put in it to do all the different.
It
things.
just
Like, it
keeps
was a
getting
pizza
more
dish
and more.
It is an insane toaster.
bottomless
like,
bag.
It came with a tray. It came with a lunch lady.
Yeah.
It came with
Yeah.
so much.
So yeah, so there's my check-in for today. It happened this morning, so
That's-
we still have yet to use it.
Congratulations.
I think Emily's planning on making bread.
That's-
for today at some point with it. So yeah.
Yeah,
well,
congratulations.
fun.
That's
Congratulations.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Biggest step.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, you're up.
Oh, okay. So I would say one of my highlights has been the gift that I bought for myself is this
Always
pair of running shoes.
Yes.
That came on recommendation from one of my best friends, Ivy, who me and Joanne met in college together with, and we're best friends together. And she recommended that I get the Nike Zoom Pegasus 36. And
That is a long name.
36?
yeah, but
Wow.
The longer
this,
the name,
this
the cooler the
colorway,
shoe is,
yeah, that's
right?
true.
Yep.
And this colorway is from the Tokyo Running Pack, which is supposed to be for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, but like
Oh.
obviously that didn't really go through.
Yeah.
But I was able to pick one up, and man, I think they're really comfortable. They
That's
are
awesome.
obviously very aesthetic, which is more important. And
Can we get a preview?
Yeah, I was just about to
I
ask
could
what
pull
Show and
it
Tell.
up.
yeah, let me grab them real
Yeah.
quick.
Okay,
For our
okay.
viewers, well, for the people who are listening, which I know that there are a few, we will just describe them to you in vivid detail. We'll use our use our words.
Use our words.
Well, it won't be show and tell for you; it'll be tell and tell.
Tell it.
I was like kneeling down, walking out of my room because I didn't want to see that. I didn't want you guys to see that I was wearing shorts. But
It's the summer, man. You can wear shorts.
The
now.
birthday
It's
boy,
ex-
you
it
know?
is-
You can wear
it is
whatever you want.
acceptable.
here it is.
Wow.
Ooh, pin him, Evan, pin him. Those are stunning.
Yeah,
Did
if
somebody
you're
just
listening
go into
to
the heart-
audio? You gotta check these out.
So
Those
for
are
those-
sharp.
It's like somebody.
It's
Oh,
purple, light blue.
Mhm.
We'll put a link to a picture of it or a link of it in the.
Oh,
This is some free advertising right here
Yeah,
for
I don't even
Nike.
Yeah.
Please, Nike.
It looks like when you go to those really fancy. Let's see if I can use my words to help this, out the most. And it's like when you go to those really fancy ice cream shops, and they have all these really amazing flavors like blueberry and blue raspberry, and it's
Yeah.
all like no. Ice cream is the wrong word. It's more of like frozen yogurt. It's like smooth, right?
Like gelato.
And it's like gelato, perfect. And what you do is you just mix all of the flavors that resemble blue or purple together, but not until it blends into a gray or a brown. You just mix
Mhm.
it until you see swirls of everything,
It's
and it's like,
close, yeah.
oh,
Did you guys ever?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever have like
you know
the
what the
Dippin' Dot
characters
things?
on those say?
Oh,
what was that,
these-
Joanne?
The characters?
This
Yeah.
says so this is Japanese. I think this is Tokyo, and then I think this is like running or something.
That's
I
awesome.
need my
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Wow, that's an
That is
amazing
so
check-in.
cool.
Wow, we're
Yeah.
on top of it with check-ins today.
Have you,
Joanne,
have
do you wanna
taken 'em out
go?
for- Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. What was that?
Oh, have you taken him out for a spin yet?
I have. Yes. I went on a walk yesterday. Yeah, it's like you're walking on clouds, man.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, Evan. But I'm so curious to hear about Joanne's check-in. Joanne is a very special guest. I feel like I know nothing about Joanne, which is why she's very special. So I'm looking forward so much. So Joanne,
high expectations here. To follow. I think what was special about this week is it's the last week of PETA Heritage Month. So it stands for Asian Pacific Islander Desi American Month. And at work, I was able to organize across offices just several events to show our appreciation for the heritage and everything for the entirety of May. So that was very fun. We had a dumpling celebration last night.
Nice.
I taught
that sounds amazing.
Coffee, that hand whip coffee that you see on social media. It's also called yeah, it looked really good. But when I was promoting it during this town hall, it was an all-staff meeting of like 250 people, and I had made the drink right beforehand. And I think Eric knows I'm a pun master, so I told the whole company, I whipped up something really quick before this, literally. And then I brought the coffee close to the camera, and I realized it had melted. The whip had melted throughout the meeting, so I had to pull it away before anybody could see, and they wouldn't attend my tutorial after that. So I just
Joanne, I have a question. So when you whip up, I've seen these pictures, right? It's as soon as you go on Google, it's been the latest craze, right? Whipped coffee. That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like ice cream. It looks thick, like a milkshake. Could you talk about the process of making it? Because I don't feel like it is that, unless it is. Is it ice cream? Is it a milkshake?
So it really is just a light, frothy whip. It's just light. So when you're eating it, I like to mix it in because it actually tastes kind of bitter at first, but then you mix it in with the milk and it's better. So it's literally like a glass of milk and then just on top whip that's made out of espresso. So you would take instant coffee powder, some hot water, a little bit of sugar, and take a whisk and just hand whisk it. It takes me probably 10 minutes because I'm not that fast. It's the flick of the whisk. And then I joked to everybody because it took me so long to get it right. And my roommate probably was watching all of my attempts. Like, when is this girl ever gonna get it? Because I would do it every day for about a week before I finally found the instant coffee powder that worked the best with it. And I joke that when I come out of the quarantine, this arm's gonna be bigger than this one.
That's right.
Yep.
So,
Joanne, your hand.
What's
the gun?
Yeah.
This is all from the instant coffee guy.
Yeah.
That's your at-home workout right there.
Yes.
What's the little dance that Adam does? He's like the flick. Adam,
that a
can you do
TikTok
the little
dance? It's a TikTok dance.
You
I
know
think
it is.
I think it's just a dance at this point.
Oh, what's it called?
Hitting the whoa. You mean that?
The whoa.
Oh, it's hitting the whoa. It's
The whoa.
You don't just hit the whoa. You
No, it's flick
you
of the-
deposit the whoa. That's a great check-in. That's fantastic. Adam, do you want to do us a favor and check in for us?
Yes. Well, I'd like to say first, thank you, Tyler, for making me fourth because it allowed me to think of the check-in. So I learned something new this week from my roommate Trey. And I make eggs every morning. I get up early and I make myself breakfast. And when you make eggs, the biggest problem is you get shells when you're in whatever you're making. It happens to all of us, right? So Trey taught me something where you crack the egg and then you turn it over and you break it from the other side and you get none of the shells in. And sometimes you occasionally have to dig one out, and that's always always a hassle. But I think that was cool. So now if you need if you're someone at home listening to this and you are tired of shells and your eggs all the time, getting that weird crunch in the in your
The weird
your
crunch.
hatch.
Yeah.
Well, now just use this
Just
technique.
like-
Just crack it, then turn it over, and then deposit it into the pan. So that's my check-in. Just a new egg tip from you.
Life hacks.
Adam, I have a very important question for you.
Sure.
How are you? What's your process of cracking the egg?
Yeah, what do you crack it on?
Well, I crack it on usually the skillet because I like it. You know, it drizzles a little bit, and I like seeing the psst, because then I know the pan's hot. So it's like a test.
Mm.
Evan,
It's on
tell
the-
him where to
it's on
crack
the
it.
Edge. It's on the edge of the pan where you're cracking it,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I just don't throw it in.
You got to go for a flat surface.
Oh no.
It's a flat
Boy, oh,
surface,
yes.
Just like one little, and then you're good. Yeah.
You're good to go. You won't get any shells in anything. Hit it on the table, not the pan.
Not too hard because, you know, you don't want to smash the egg on the table.
If you hit it as hard as you can, the egg will disintegrate into the pan. You might even,
Yeah.
if you get the right velocity, you might cook the egg.
Actually, you just want to. You actually
Yeah,
just
yeah.
want to throw the egg.
It's like how hard do you need to slap a chicken to cook it? Have
Yeah.
you guys seen that
Yeah.
before?
Yes.
How hard?
How
How
hard?
hard, Evan? Can you talk to us?
How
Oh
fast?
geez, let me go find it because somebody actually figured this out.
How many? Or it's like either how hard one slap, or like how many times for like
There you
a
go.
billion.
How
bunch of
hard to?
snaps.
Joanne, what would be your guess?
Here.
How fast would you need to slap a chicken in order to cook it?
I can't say.
I don't even understand the question.
Okay, so because of so let me explain it real quick, like just like the science behind it. So it's when you slap
science behind
something, right? You have that kinetic energy which is going to create heat. So I mean, you know, like if you like, I don't know, yeah. So like if you slap something, it's going to start getting hot because of that kinetic energy. So if you like theoretically, if you slapped a chicken hard enough, you'd create enough heat to cook the entire chicken, right? So first thing on Google, it says to cook a chicken in one slap would require the velocity of 3,725.95 miles per hour, which is humanly impossible.
Yeah.
Is it now? Is it humanly
Is it
impossible?
actually impossible? Let's test it.
But it's. Let's test it. I don't know. I
Let's
can
find a
test.
Is it living throughout this, or it's already dead?
I would assume that it's already you know, been butchered,
Yeah,
cleaned, and
hopefully.
stuff. You know, at least I
Yeah.
would. I wouldn't. I don't think I'd slap a live chicken.
Just the.
Yeah.
Just a chicken breast. Just an uncooked chicken breast right on your
Yeah,
counter. Smack it
sitting
down.
on it.
Bam.
Slap it with the force of 5 gods, and then it's cooked for you.
Well, you know, I think McDonald's has already figured this out because it takes them, you know, less than a minute to make the McChicken.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
maybe they have
Oh
the
yeah,
science
they're not
behind it.
frying their chicken.
They
they're
have people
slapping their
back there
chicken
just
right
slapping the chicken breasts.
So Tyler, how about you? What's
Oh god.
a boyo check-in?
You guys got me all heated. That's a good discussion. Thanks for talking about that. Okay, so I have a pretty good check-in. It was actually a week ago today that the house, I live in a house with housemates in Lansing, and we went to the Great Lake just for the day. The governor Whitmer, Lake Michigan.
Mhm.
So it was about an hour and a half away. It was in Holland, Michigan, is where we went. And Governor Whitmer allowed opening of recreation stuff. And so we were socially distanced, of course, except within the house. You know, we've been socially distancing together. And so we went, and it was immaculate. It was actually a beach, and it was, the weather was very kind, and the water was so cold. Charlie, one of my housemates, is really amazing at throwing a football. And prior to coming to Michigan State, I had never thrown a football. True.
Wow.
He doesn't
Wow.
believe it still. I know.
That's
I got
a
Adam
well,
from
he's
Texas.
From Texas. It's a cardinal sin
Yeah,
in Texas.
Texas.
It's a cardinal sin.
Yeah.
And he's in denial that I still hadn't thrown a football. He was like, no, that's not true. And I was like, Charlie, what? I wouldn't lie to you about this. It's absolutely true. The first time I've ever thrown a football was with you. And Charlie was like, no, that can't be right. He's just so adamant, And I'm like, no. And so I've been getting better at it. The trick is, right, for those who are at home listening, if you've never thrown a football or have no experience throwing a football like me, The trick is, to get this better, is to use the last two fingers right on, there's like a little spine on top of the football. What that's for is just put the last two fingers right on I'm going to call them frets, like the first and third fret. And so what you do, and then that helps you get a good spin on it. So you can just, like Joanne was eloquently saying, like flick de wrist. And it helps put the spin on the ball, and you could end up putting some power behind it. And that's how you throw a football. So I went into Lake Michigan to throw with Charlie. And after a while, my body just got numb, and it didn't bother me anymore. I couldn't feel anything. Charlie was like, "How are your legs?" And I was like, "I don't know.
I don't know. Where
They could be there, or they could be
Not
away
really
from me.
sure.
They could be running. Beats me. I've never not felt my legs. They're swimming out in the middle, right over there." And so that was an incredibly relaxing and incredibly enjoyable day, and that happened a week ago today. So yeah, that's my check-in.
And it was pretty nice weather then too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Last
It was
weekend?
great.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
I-
fantastic. I don't tan at all. I go straight from paste to burn. Shout out to mom and dad. And so I just enjoyed burning. I've got aloe waiting for me in the fridge, so I'm like, I got it. All good.
That's
I can
great.
do whatever I want.
Yep.
I
You gotta
know.
be
So
prepared for
that-
and then just wrap yourself in olive.
Do you think you're gonna start being a football player?
I'm thinking about it, Joanne. I'm thinking about dropping everything that I'm doing and just becoming a pro football player, because I'm starting to get that like twist down, the little spiral. It's called a spiral for those at home. I'm learning a lot. Practically.
Tyler, the
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys are having trouble with their quarterback signing because he's
Oh,
asking for
yeah.
more money than any other quarterback in the history of the NFL. So maybe you can come in and lowball him a little bit.
Okay, if any representative of the Dallas Cowboys are listening to this right now, let me tell you, I will take 1/300th of what you're offering him, and I'll play on your team easily. That's my highball offer. Okay, we can
Probably still
even
like $1
negotiate
million.
through that. Hey, give me enough for rent for the year, and I'm good. I'll put me on the team. I'll be 18th string. Doesn't matter. I'm getting my chops down. I'm paying my dues right
Right.
Mm-hmm.
now.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah.
Joanne, are you into any sports? Do you like sports? Either as a spectator or as an avid doer?
So yeah, I do not play sports unless you count this extreme coffee that I've been doing lately.
Oh,
Brings back the
you
whip.
Do some.
Yeah, if I put the
Oh, what
ingredients in a mason jar, maybe it can be a shake weight. I don't know.
Oh.
I do like watching basketball sometimes, or back in school, we would watch the football games, kind of half watch, I guess. During halftime, that's when most people would leave the game, unfortunately.
Wait,
Would you ever
Joanne,
go
were
with
you,
Eric?
I think we've been
Oh,
to the game
we've-
before.
We've probably gone to one of the games together before.
Yeah.
We've definitely at least gone to football, but I was gonna say, there was some point in you were doing like a lot of like, is it Pilates or like
Oh, Pure Bar. Yeah.
Pier Bar? Yes.
What?
Pier Bar. Can you explain
heard.
that, like a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like strength training, and you just focus on all of the different muscle groups. It's hard to do at home now because we don't have a bar, but back then in the studio they would have specific poses that you would do. So you would, I don't know, for example, just have your arm on the bar and then put another arm like by your face and then bend over, kind of like a ballerina. And I've never taken dance classes before, so I like that it was a mixture. It wasn't too difficult, but it's it looks easy, and it really is not to hold it in that position because you actually start shaking. But that whenever you start shaking, the instructor's like, you're feeling the burn. And so now that we're at home and everything, and I don't have a bar, I've been kind of trying to use a chair, and it's just not stable enough because I've fallen a couple of times, and it's like I should sit. But the instructor, I don't know, at home workouts just don't motivate me that much because the instructor's always saying, you're doing great. And I'm like, how do you know this?
I'm
my
sitting
God.
here eating cookies. You
I'm
don't know if I'm
laying
doing
down here with a chair on top
Yeah.
of me.
You're just sitting there eating, watching the
And
video.
I'm eating chips,
Yep,
just,
yep.
I'm watching TV while I'm watching them next to it. The TV.
Yeah. That
So
reminds me
Joanne,
of, like,
Joanne,
yeah.
Joanne,
ahead.
I brought in groceries this morning, and my arm started shaking because of how out of shape that I am. Was I feeling the burn there?
I think so. You're about to, that's you developing your biceps right there. Curl.
I knew it. Sorry,
Feeling
Eric.
the
Go ahead. I
burn.
just wanted to get that in.
Grocery shopping.
No. That reminds me of, like, those videos of when those people, like, eating, like, plain white rice, but they're, like, watching some gourmet video, like, meal, some, like, mukbang or something like that.
Golden apple tea.
Yeah.
It's just it's the imagination. It's the most important part. I can sit there and have just a soy milk that is not flavored and a spoon, and then as soon as you put me in front of those YouTube videos that that Bon Appetit, like you were mentioning, or any of those, like those top 3 chefs where it's like amateur guy who kind of knows what he's doing because he's read a Wikipedia article, and then mega, like, Michelin star.
Right.
Yeah, you can taste the beef. You can taste what they're making. It's just a little bit of this, a little bit of noggin. That's all you need.
Have you seen those memes they're called like bone apple tea, and it's just people's meals like Easy Mac or
Yeah.
It's like
Easy
ketchup with a side of like Pringles chips that you found underneath your pantry.
or in your glove.
Yeah.
I have never seen this before.
Where that came from.
Oh yeah, Bev. They're all over the internet. When you get some
It
free
looks
time,
like-
go ahead.
Okay, so this
To
top
give me
one, when I typed it
inspiration
in,
for my at-home quarantine meals. So.
it looks like they just have, like, sweet corn on top of bread in a skillet.
That's what cornbread is.
See, the inner Gordon Ramsay to Evan is just trembling out of anger when you see that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. I've totally
Yeah.
done some of these before. Like, okay, so it's got classic cheese nachos. So it's saltine crackers with cheese, like, microwaved on top of it. I've totally been there and done that. Yep.
You gotta do it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Joanne.
So there's, like, the speaking of of all that the good food. I mean, Chicago's got some really, really nice food. And growing up in Chicago, what was that like?
yeah.
I mean, for the first parts of it, I think I honestly didn't really start going out to eat in Chicago until probably college. Back in high school, I lived in my high school was in downtown, but we had this really short lunch period where I believe it was only 45 minutes, and you had to earn off-campus rights, as they called it. So you had to have good grades and perfect attendance, basically, in order to get there, in order to be able to go to, like, Panera or somewhere else for lunch. And being in high school, I didn't have that much income, so I think my friends and I basically ate at McDonald's and didn't really appreciate the good food in Chicago. But now that in college, I had a lot of friends who were foodies, and they showed me places and expanded my palate, I guess. So
Oh.
yes.
What
So
did you, how much did you, because your parents run their own restaurant, right? And so like, how much did you, like, eat there at home or in Chinatown maybe?
Yeah, so I think I ate quite frequently at their restaurant. My parents always kind of talk smack about other Chinese food. So
What do they say? What do they say?
What about
do they say,
Panda
Joanne?
Express? Yeah.
it's
I
just
want to hear beef. I want to hear beef. This is what I come here for, Joanne. Like.
so we went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and they seriously tried to find a Chinese restaurant there.
At some place named Gatlinburg.
Yeah, I was like, we're south right now. This is not the food that we're trying to get. We should be eating like comfort or something, I was very excited to just eat like butter and all that other stuff. And
Just eat butter.
Yeah, I'd like the plate of fried butter, please. That'd be great. Could I
Tennessee,
have a
that's all it
side
is.
of margarine?
exactly. But then Bon Appetit. But then they was trying to search for Chinese food, and I could not understand. I couldn't fathom why. And so they were like, "Well, this is the only kind of food that we like to eat." And I was like, "But I don't understand. Whenever we go to a restaurant that's a Chinese restaurant, you always end up saying that your food tastes better and that we could have made this at home. So I don't know why."
We
whenever
could have
we
made
go
this
out,
at home.
I totally
Yeah.
understand.
they
Emily
literally
does that
crossed
all
the
the time.
freeway once just to get to the Chinese restaurant, and I was standing on the other side of it, and I was like, "I'm not gonna do this. I'm going to go to Applebee's. Have fun, guys."
Applebee's.
Oh, you reduced to Applebee's, Joanne?
Was it
Joanne,
at
Joanne,
least
what was-
half off abs?
Yeah.
Always, it's always half
Half
off
off
abs.
apps. Half off apps.
Joanne, do you have a story of when you and your parents went out that was the most like crazy ridiculous? Like, no, did they ever send any food back because they were so disgusted with it, or?
No, so they're nice people. I think they, having worked at a restaurant, they don't really. I think they're maybe more empathetic towards other restaurants, so they don't like to send food back or anything, but they'll just talk about it for the next hour, and it doesn't really make sense though, because if we're at a Chinese restaurant, most likely other workers are Chinese and can probably understand what they're saying. So I don't really know if it's that great that they do that, but it is what it is.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. It's like really harmless, but like really funny at the same time. I love that.
Yeah.
Wow. So what was that like?
Yeah.
Where did they always have this business when you were growing up? Because you were born in Chicago.
Yeah. So they started it when I was really young. I was probably younger than 10 years old. And I started working there, answering the phones. People didn't really take me seriously. They would always say, "Hey, can you get your mom on the phone?" And I would be like, "This is she." But obviously I had a voice. It sounded more like, "This is she." And they knew that it was not her.
Straight identity theft.
I was like, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, I am part of her. Like, I came out of her womb, so.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah, it's not that
counts.
far
It's
off.
something.
Whatever, you know. I used to get mistaked for I used to get mistook. There you go. Mistook for my mom over the phone. Because when I was young, you know,
What?
Yeah, of
like
course,
right, everybody knows that pre-puberty. Ring, 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 ring. Pick up the phone. Hello? Oh, hey, Terry, how's it going? You know, I haven't talked to you in a long time. You doing all right? I'll get her. I'll get her.
Your mom.
I'll get her.
You really.
So yeah, we're on the same page. I feel you. So that must have been
funny.
incredibly interesting. Is their business located in downtown Chicago?
Oh no, it was so far away. I probably by public transportation, it would take me an hour and a half after high school to get back there.
Wow.
It's kind of a rough commute, and you would definitely see different characters on the bus too.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh, no.
We love these stories. What kind of characters have you seen, Joanne?
Well, okay.
Most memorable.
I feel like these stories are just mostly traumatic, so I'll just talk more about.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. I'll talk. I can't think of one off the top of my head right now, but I do remember now that it's inching closer to summer that I was on the bus, and normally it's like an Olympics race for me. Like I have to run. That was the only form of exercise I would get in high school, like running from the train to the bus, because somehow the bus would sink directly right when the train just got into the station. And the bus drivers wouldn't want to deal with the whole rush, because since it was after school, that's about the time when people would get off of work as well.
Right.
So the bus driver was like, "I don't want to deal with this. I'm just going to peel off." So I would have to try to run to get to him before he pulled out of the station. So I would run, And it was especially difficult because freshman year of high school, I had to take band, and then they gave me the violin, so I would be carrying the violin case as well. So
Oh my.
it was just a
Right.
lot like running over.
Oh
Um,
no.
and usually I wouldn't get a seat because if I somehow got to the bus before it pulled away, then it would stop it long enough that everybody else would come onto the bus. And I think I did them a service because I was the one that allowed them to board. And then, but sometimes I wouldn't get a seat. And then,
Right.
like, especially in the summertime, a lot of people are out. So then one day there was a seat available, and I was like wearing shorts, and I sat down, and I just thought it was so suspicious. I was like, I can't believe that everybody around me, like, no one's taking the seat. I made sure
Right.
that like the elderly had a spot and everything. I was like, are there any pregnant women on this bus? And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna take it. So I sat down, and I feel this like liquid seep into
No.
my shorts, and I realized that either somebody before me must have sweated a lot, or I don't think it was sweat because it was just too much liquid for it.
Oh
no.
Materials. It was really bad. But I think I sat in a puddle of urine, and what was awful about this was that when I stood up from it, it looked like I had urinated.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, it looked like
It's bad enough that I sat.
This is like a Seinfeld episode.
yeah, it's like
It's bad enough that I sat in
that's
urine.
like something that would happen to George.
Yep.
And I was like, I can't believe this because I allowed you all to board this bus and nobody told me or warned me.
No,
Nobody said
warned you.
anything.
Nobody was like,
Something.
"Hey, don't sit there."
Please don't. Right. Like. Oh,
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that's an example of how that day I was the character on the bus. And people probably thought I did that to the
You-
I just want to clear the record for anyone who's listening who's been on that
Of course.
bus with me. If you are out there, I did not pee on that bus seat. It was somebody else.
Joanne, this is why we have this podcast, to give people
Yeah.
like you the opportunity to defend yourself in these times.
Yes,
You gotta clear your name.
Joanne,
You
I'm
gotta
so
clear your
sorry.
name.
right now. I want to
So-
reclaim my power.
I didn't even think of the fact that you have to leave the bus, and therefore
Yeah, like
people will
Right.
see you get up, and this you expect Nessie to come out of this like lake of
Oh,
whatever
no.
mystery,
no.
I'm so sorry.
And my backpack, so I think it was good that I could sandwich myself in between those two.
Right.
It probably
Mhm.
looked really weird. They were like, why is she holding her violin case like that? And backpack behind her.
It's a good.
Could be balancing the
oh,
weight.
wow.
I don't know. Um,
Jeez.
So how was your time in high school?
It was great. I mean, hopefully I didn't peak in high school. I like to think that the best things are ahead. I did go to the high school that our only notable alumnus is Chance the Rapper.
That's right. Yep.
He
Yes.
never crossed paths while I was in high school. So when he graduated, I was a freshman in high school. So I just missed him by a year. And we have I think a 7-year now friend request in the works. So
oh.
I think
You got to let that one marinate, Joanne.
we have 3 mutual friends. So I think that's reason enough to accept the friend request. I'll be waiting.
Yeah.
Chance,
If you're listening,
you're up.
Chance.
It's your move.
Also, if
It's
you
your
want to be
move,
on
big
this
boy.
podcast,
Yeah. Also, if you want to,
Please reach out to
Yeah.
us at Group 2
If-
Quartet
Group
at
2
Gmail.
yeah, we'll talk to your agent. But yeah, so Joanne, after high school, so some say they still went to university in the city, but I feel like you would see it as you sort of moving out of the city a little bit to Evanston and at Northwestern. So could you talk a little bit about like the clubs you were in, maybe what you majored in, and then some of your experiences there?
Sure. I majored in learning and organizational change. Nobody ever knows what that means, but it's essentially a major. It's kind of our quasi business major. we look at on an organizational level how these organizations respond to forces of change. So I think COVID-19 would be an interesting case study for them right now. I don't know if that's what is being taught in the curriculum, but I think it's a very relevant impact that organizations would have to think about in relation to everybody that's working there. And then I also majored in economics, which is very popular at Northwestern. Almost everybody that I talk to, it's so funny because I live with Eric and Ivy, who you mentioned earlier, and we all majored in econ and something else. So it's kind of like econ is the add-on that everybody likes to do for whatever reason. So I don't even know if I can call that a real major at this point.
Call him out. Call him out, Joanne. You guys have a study group?
We sometimes have the same classes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what's funny is that my diploma, it said, so since the learning and organizational change major was in my home school, which is the School of Education and Social Policy, my diploma actually said Joanne has earned a bachelor's of science in education and social policy from the School of Education and Social Policy.
Oh, they messed
That's
up. Yeah.
So they didn't list either one of my majors. And
Oh no.
I shared a photo with my parents in our family group chat, and then they sent it to their other, like our extended family group chat, and everybody thought I was going to be a teacher or something because they were like, oh, education and social policy. So then my parents were like, oh no, she's actually gonna be a data analyst, and her majors were econ and learning and organizational change. Everybody was so confused. They were like, no, you made this up.
Right. No, that was a
You
really
you
confusing
made this
thing.
up.
But sometimes people, I don't know, what did your diploma say, Eric?
I had this is gonna sound like a joke, but I had
Eric,
two different diplomas.
Yes.
I had one that was
Ooh.
a Bachelor of Arts in Economics. It said it there, and then the a Bachelor of Music in Saxophone Performance. So that's what it.
Wow.
Nice.
You
And
got
I
proper
and I think
credentials.
they're somewhere around here, probably dusty
So-
or whatever.
I'm confused. So Joanne, you should have gotten 2 as well, right? You double majored.
Oh, no. So I only double majored, but Eric did dual degree.
Okay.
Okay, somebody clear this up for my little.
It's-
This is. Yeah, Eric, clear it up.
They like
It's
to.
be on your dating profile, Eric.
Yes, actually, asterisk, not double major, dual degree. I have to correct. I feel like at the end of the day, there's not much of a difference.
No, you're
but
not going to get hired
basically-
just because of that.
Just because it was technically though that I was simultaneously a student in the College of Arts and the
okay.
College of Music, so I had to fulfill the requirements of both of the degrees, and basically what that came down to was making sure I'm meeting the distribution requirements, which we would normally call gen eds of the arts degree, rather than like for music you might have to do less of those. But
Okay.
Joanne, if I could ask you one last question. So, seeing as you're our self-proclaimed groupie, you're an avid you're an avid fan of music, and you've gone to a number of concerts in college, and was wondering if you maybe have a highlight of some favorite artists or concert experiences.
Sure. So one of them was actually an experience with you. I remember that last minute we decided to go to a Brockhampton concert. And
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
Oh, I
last
love
minute.
Brockhampton.
It was like an hour before the concert was about to start, and then Eric and I
Yes.
found these very cheap tickets on StubHub, and then we decided to Uber there, but funnily enough, they did not have an opener. And usually you would think that if you missed the first 20 minutes of a concert, it would be okay because there's supposed to be an opener.
Right.
And this was the one time that they did not have one. So then we ended up missing part of their set, but it was really fun because we got there last minute. And then I remember like recently, or not recently, it was probably December of last year. I went to another one of their shows by myself because I enjoyed the one that we went to together. And then, however, it was kind of scary because I was in a mosh pit all by myself.
Yeah.
I feel like
Joanne.
How did you end up in there?
I thought I was going to die. Like I'm 5'3".
Those are scary.
And when you're surrounded by a lot of tall people too, you just cannot breathe. There's like no air for you. So I just had to hold my breath for a really long time. And there were some people around me who had water bottles, and they were nice enough to share, let me waterfall and everything. It was, however, like a very high energy concert. And I always enjoy it for that reason because the fans, I think the energy from the fans and the energy from the performers, it combines together to create something really magical.
Yeah.
I felt very
right, Joanne?
spontaneous that day.
Yeah, that was so spontaneous because
I was like, oh.
we have this philosophy of just enjoying the day sometimes, and it used to be a little detrimental to me because sometimes I would ask Eric, hey, should I go to my class that's starting in 10 minutes? You know, I just ate lunch, and honestly, I'm feeling kind of fatigued from my meal. And he would say, Joanne, just enjoy the day. And I'm like, you're right. I'm not gonna go to class.
Okay, all you college kids listening, go to class, but
That's the other thing about Chicago. It's
He
such a
good student, and he would go to class, and I'm like, why don't you ever enjoy the day?
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing about
That's a
Chicago.
good
There's
one.
so much to do. You could go to these concerts. You could see all these artists because Chicago is such a big city. And because of how great Chicago is, and the experiences you've had and Eric had, we devised a little. We always do something fun at the end of the hour on the podcast,
Yes.
and we're actually gonna let a Bevy introduce it and kind of walk us through it. So, Evan, why don't you explain what our next the end of the hour, what our little segment's gonna be?
Yeah. So we thought it would be kind of fun, since you both spent a pretty substantial amount of time in Chicago, to do a little bit of a quiz between the two of you. So I don't know if somebody wants to keep track of score if we care that much.
Ring here, so it's going to be really embarrassing if I lose.
Hold on. Let me get something real quick. I have to prepare for this.
Uh-oh, we're gearing up.
We're
Gearing up.
Is he bringing reinforcements? Can I phone a friend?
Ooh!
Whoa!
Fresh.
Yeah, you gotta that representation.
Oh, jeez.
So here, I've got some manuscript paper and a pen here, and I'll keep score.
Great.
Yep.
Just so we have it.
Okay. So.
Okay, I hope you're being objective about the scoring.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of these aren't going to be like super easy to score because some of them are a little wishy-washy, but we'll deal with that when we get there. So, first question. Chicago's pretty well known for deep dish pizza, right?
Yes.
First question. We were thinking, what are 3 of Chicago's premier deep dish pizza restaurants? And I've got a couple.
Okay,
lists.
is it a buzzer? Is it like a buzzer?
Bro, how does this? Is this question? Are we doing like?
Oh geez, yeah.
Like-
how do we?
Yeah, how do we?
One
Gotta get a
me,
clap.
one's a Joanne.
Whoever gets the clap.
Okay.
Wait, I've got an idea. I've got an idea for you guys.
Okay,
So
yeah.
whoever knows it first gets the clap, okay?
Okay.
It'll come to us 3, and we'll decide who we heard first.
Yes.
I know what's gonna happen.
We will be objective as possible.
So I think for this one, Joanne, go ahead and.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to start us off?
Okay, sure. So the Quads, Luminati's, and Giordano's.
Whoa. Okay, talk about the first one. I've never heard about the first one before. I know that the other
that
2.
one.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Is it called P-Quads? Quad, P-E-Q-U-O-D apostrophe S. It's a lot of people who really, really like pizza. They've recommended this place. They said this is their favorite one. I have not had the opportunity to go yet, but I trust in these friends. So
Hey, Midwest.
Okay.
We'll go.
Midwest.
Hey,
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
go. We will be there. Nice, Joanne. Thank you.
Mhm.
That's great.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and those are
Alright.
all three of them that were on my list.
Wow.
Yeah. Eric, do you want to add any?
Nope.
I don't know. Okay. Cool.
Smart. He goes, no,
okay,
I'm
so
great. I'm
are we waiting till you finish the question, or like can we just or
I guess
Yeah,
if
wait.
you-
It's like
let's
family.
find
Or,
your pizza place.
okay?
Okay,
yeah, wait
so-
until Evan's done.
Yeah. Okay, so next question. Holding the title of tallest building in the world for 25 years after its completion in 1973, what is the current name of this famous Chicago skyscraper?
Joanne.
Yep.
Um,
Joanne.
I saw it.
It's now called the Willis Tower, but I still say Sears Tower, and so do all other Chicagoans. And actually, it flooded a few days ago, which I had no idea that could happen.
Oh,
no.
I did not know that.
Wow.
Dang.
I mean, I guess it's been a rainy season. I don't know. It's been pretty rainy in
has.
Michigan.
Especially
It's
in
been
Michigan.
very rainy.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
what's happening
Yeah.
here.
Very rainy.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So a little fun fact that I found here was that the Sears Tower only held the title the tallest man-made structure for 3
Mhm.
years, and it was passed by the Petronas Towers, which are located in Malaysia. So I thought that was kind of
Wow.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, you
That's
learned
cool.
something from listening to this too.
Nice.
Yeah,
I gotta
We're an
I-
educational podcast.
Yeah.
Educational.
Okay. You ready for the next question?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Built in 1871 and being dubbed the longest continuously operating hotel in North America, what is the name of this historic Chicago hotel?
Uh,
No! Eric?
Oh,
Is it the Palmer House?
it is the Palmer
The
House.
Palmer
Yes.
House.
Yup.
I did not know that.
See, I was
Yeah.
wondering
Uh-oh.
if Joanne, you would, because I remember when we were in Chicago last year, Joanne, I mentioned the Palmer House to you, but I don't think I ever told you it was the oldest hotel. So,
I only know that until I left Chicago because I came to Michigan State and met Adam.
Retroactive learning.
Yeah, so I got a little fun fact with this one too. A couple of them, because there's actually, I mean, there's a ton of history surrounding the Palmer House, right? And I'm assuming that's part of the reason why Adam really likes it. But it was the city's first hotel with elevators, electric light bulbs, and telephones in the guest rooms. So that was kind of fun. And then
Nice.
The first Palmer House that was known as just the Palmer was built as a wedding present for Potter Palmer and his bride Bertha Honore. I may have butchered that last name, so I'm sorry. It opened in September of 1871, but it burned down 13 days later in the Chicago fire.
Because of the Chicago fire.
Oh.
no.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Fire.
Imagine getting a hotel as a wedding present.
I know
Like,
that would be
That's
insane.
crazy.
God,
What?
You're just gifting me more work. Like,
Nice. So, are we moving on to round 2 now? Is this round 2?
Round 2.
okay,
This was
let's go to
only
round 2.
round 1. These
That was
questions-
round 1. 3
Yeah,
questions.
we've only got like 9 questions. It shouldn't be too bad. Okay.
3 rounds.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. At over more than 40 feet long, what is the name of the Tyrannosaurus Rex located in the Field Museum of National History?
Is it
Oh!
Sorry?
Is it Sue?
It is Sue.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I
Dude.
forgot about that.
that.
We even went on like a field trip to there or something, and I
So we had a
didn't pay
night at the
attention.
museum thing for school.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd have been fun. That would have been
Didn't
fun.
see
Yeah.
any of
I've
the life.
I've been there, and until right now, I thought his name was Ruby.
I like that name, you know.
I
Yeah,
like it
Sue's
too.
good
I
name.
don't know why.
Yes,
I was like,
making these
Ruby,
questions,
that's-
Tyler was like, Ruby, and I'm like, who is this Ruby?
That's another
Correct
that's another
me, though.
T-Rex.
Looks
Like,
like Rudy.
Okay, so
No,
a little
that's funny.
fun- little bonus question for that one is do either of you know the name, or anybody know the name of the longest or the largest Tyrannosaurus Rex that has been found?
James.
No.
No, no.
No,
That was
no,
dumb.
not
No.
that.
Its name is Scotty, and it measured in at 42.6
Scotty.
feet long. It was found in Canada.
Wow.
Scotty
Oh,
just
cool.
is like a
Canada.
little
Shout out to
puppy
Jeff.
or something.
Shout out
You would not expect
to-
it to be this long dinosaur.
I know it's
Yeah.
huge.
Massive. Yeah. I think it was Saskatchewan was where it was found, but I know it was Canada.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so next question. Eric, I'm actually I have no idea. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so what is the name of Chicago's soccer team?
Wait, I could not hear that.
Sorry, what is the name of Chicago's soccer team?
Oh!
Ooh.
Chicago Fire?
Yes.
Yup.
Oh,
I got a bonus.
I didn't even know
question for
Chicago
that
had a
one,
soccer
too.
team.
Eric, you gotta pull it together, man. You need a
Like-
pep talk? Do you need me to call you? What do you need, man?
Oh,
what do you need?
no. I
Fuel,
only
what do you
watch
need?
football. It's
I only watch
football.
football. Football.
Okay.
football.
So, just out of curiosity, do you know when they were founded? Because this one surprised me.
I feel like it would be more recent. So,
Yeah.
okay, I'm just going to say 1983.
Ooh, it was actually even more recent than that. Yeah, it was 1997.
Wow.
Wow.
Like in terms
Yeah.
of teams, that seems pretty young to me.
Year I was born.
Ooh.
And Joanne.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one, this next question is going to be somewhat open ended because it's kind of complicated. So we're getting
Okay.
into some of the more difficult questions. But
This is-
question: where did the term the Windy City originate from?
Oh, what? Joanne.
It comes from its politics because, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Can I just say that?
No, Eric,
Yeah.
you
Wait,
can't
wait,
just
wait.
go after
Let-
she's
let
saying
me
the
add on.
answer. Eric's like,
Let me add on.
yeah.
Let me add on. No. Okay.
Eric,
so,
add on, add on.
You know, the whole political machine.
Yeah.
Mostly, so then they just decided to say, like, I don't really know why they chose, like, for their politics, windy specifically, but just because, you know, people didn't really trust in the machine and stuff.
Right. From
I know-
when I saw
Eric, do
Okay.
it. Let's try to get Eric. We can split up this
from-
point.
Yeah, we can give both.
From what I remember, just because that was able to jog my memory a little bit, I think the first mayor. Oh no. I think it's the first mayor Daley had something to do with it. Like he was had some political corruption going on.
Yes, keep going. You're on the right track.
Not trying to call people out, but I think that maybe part of that was he and like high up political officials were in bribing and that kind of thing.
Long-windedness, maybe.
yeah,
It was
Yeah.
called colonialism. So they
Yeah.
basically would give positions to their friends and family.
Mhm.
That's
Wow.
Yeah, and then, from where the where I found that part, they were saying that the politicalness or the term came from politics because they tended to be really long-winded.
Long-winded.
Nice.
There we go.
Winded.
Give them to both of them. I'll give a point to both
I
of
gave
them.
a point to both.
Good.
I don't really
That's
deserve
pretty
a
good.
point there.
Yeah,
I
you knew what it was,
We'll
man.
give you a point. We'll give you.
I'll take
I
it though.
did
I mean,
find-
I'm God knows I need it.
We're trying what we can do, man.
Yeah. I'll take it.
No, so one of the really interesting things that I found, and it's cited and everything. It's on Wikipedia, but it was the earliest reference to Windy City was actually to Green Bay in 1856.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Green Bay,
that's cool.
Wisconsin?
Yeah, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Yeah.
Hmm.
Shout out to Professor Luloff.
Go Pack-
Go Packers.
Adam.
Not the weather, even though sometimes the weather could be really, really windy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Very windy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
No,
what I
there was-
initially thought.
There were so many different reasons that I found that were given for why the term came about. So yeah, it was I don't know. That was a really interesting one for me.
Yeah, good job,
Okay.
guys. That's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so we're on to the hard questions now, right?
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Is this round 3 now?
Yes,
Round
it's
3?
round
Round
three.
three.
Round 3.
Commence.
Okay. Question: Who was the first American to receive a Nobel Prize in the sciences?
Okay,
No way.
I don't actually know if I know the answer to this. I'm just gonna say Marie Curie.
No.
Ah, yeah.
I do have a hint if we
No.
want it.
No,
in
let's
the, in the sciences.
Chicago, Evan.
In the sciences.
What do they have to do with Chicago?
He was a physicist that worked at the University of Chicago.
I should really know this.
I feel like we need like the doo doo doo.
Yeah, we need
sort of
the-
theme music or something.
Yeah.
Do you guys give up?
I give up.
I give up.
Yeah, I thought this one was a really tough one, but it was Albert
Yeah.
A. Michelson.
Oh yeah, there's
Who's
no
a-
chance.
Yeah, physicist at the University of Chicago. And
What
I
was it
believe
That's not somebody just on the tip of your tongue.
I believe it was for his research in. I think it was measuring the speed of light.
Oh.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Cool.
yeah.
You
Okay,
don't- Very nice.
next question. So this one, I'll just read the question. What structures survived the Great Chicago Fire of 1871? The list that I found has 4 of them.
Oh no. Okay, I would just say one of them, which I think is the water tower.
Nice,
Okay.
Joanne.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything, Eric? Do you have anything? You could get a point here,
What
dude.
about the Ferris wheel?
No, I don't have the.
Dang it.
Oh,
Ferris wheel.
It's
What
worth
a
a shot.
what
Worth a shot.
the Ferris wheel.
Well, we know it wasn't the Palmer House because you guys just said it burned down like 13 days later.
Yeah.
Right.
Eric, you could have said the Great Lake, and you would have got it right.
Lake
Great
Michigan was
Lake.
not affected by the.
Nice, Joanne. That's the way to go,
Yeah,
man.
Not
Joanne's
affected
pushing
by
ahead.
fire.
Mhm.
Not affected by the fire.
Gotta
Okay,
win
you want me to-
this, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Do
have
you want me to list
Chicago
the rest of
pride.
them?
Yeah, go ahead and tell us the
Go
rest.
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so we had the water tower, and then we had St. Michael's Church in Old Town, the Chicago Avenue pumping station, and Police Constable Belugar's cottage at 2121 North Hudson.
Wow.
Very
If
nice.
you would have gotten that
Places
last
that
one,
I would have never.
gotten 5 points.
Yeah, that last one. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
We
Are you
got
ready for
we got
the
one more.
Last question.
One more. Okay.
Go.
Okay.
Okay, so founded in 1923 and located at the beginning of Route 66 in downtown Chicago, what is the name of this iconic breakfast restaurant?
Ooh.
Shoot.
Wait, 19 when?
1923.
I have a hint I can add.
Can I guess?
Yeah. Let's make it double or nothing.
Waffle
so
House?
if Eric gets this, you win.
Waffle House.
Oh, Eric.
Okay, I'll say a hit. I'll say
Can
a
I
hint.
guess too?
Yes, you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Lou Mitchell's.
Oh!
Oh wow.
Me out with this one because you did mention that the last time that we saw each other in Chicago. So good.
Lou Mitchell.
Amazing, Joanne.
I honestly
That was
forgot
awesome.
about that completely. Like,
Joanne's prize is that she gets to be taken to Lou Mitchell's on the quartet when we're at Midwest.
When we're-
yes.
I think that's a great way to end the show.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you, Joanne, so much
fantastic.
for coming
Oh, yeah,
on.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I don't know
Thank you,
Ah.
Joanne.
if there's anything you want to say at the end, anything you want to promote, or
I will take you guys to Pequod if you ever come to Chicago, and you'll take me to Lou Mitchell's. I think that's a fair.
Perfect.
There you go.
That sounds
Well,
like a fair deal, yeah.
thank you everybody for listening, and
Thanks.
follow us on. You've got our information www.group2quartet.com, and you can find all of our social media and everything there. Stay tuned for next week. We'll have another great show for you, and thank you again to Joanne for coming on, and
Thanks,
we'll
Joanne.
see you guys next week.
Thanks.
Have a great week.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.